Today we have my top 10 Dragon Ball Z films. Number 10, Dragon Ball Z Resurrection of F. Why is Resurrection of F on this list? Well, that's easy. I needed to fill the list. A sequel to the Battle of Gods, released in 2015, Resurrection of F was a big success. Directed by Tadayoshi Yamamuro, Frieza has returned and is after the defeat of Majin Buu with the help of Sorbit, and is preparing for revenge. Frieza postpones the invasion of Earth so he can train and prepare to face a more powerful Goku. Resurrection of F has more fight scenes than Battle of Gods, which in my opinion was a big improvement, as Master Roshi, Piccolo, and Gohan get in a few good moments. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we see no Yamcha or other minor characters, like Gotenks as well. The final battle dragged on a little, and Frieza never felt like a big threat. The movie was good, but not great, as we see nothing new really, just typical DBC. Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods at number 9. Dragon Z Battle of Gods was the first movie released in 17 years. It is said Akira Toriyama wrote the film after his bad experience with Dragon Ball Evolution. The story follows God of Destruction Beerus, as he has awakened after his 50-year slumber, to search for the Saiyan that defeated Frieza, as he remembers of a prophecy of a Super Saiyan God that will challenge him. The main cast all returned for this movie with more updated character designs. The animation is beautiful except for a few CGI moments. It's really nice to see everyone in a new film, even if they only get a few small roles and no fight scenes, except Goku and Vegeta, although the villain was not as intimidating as in other films. Number 8, Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan. I'm not a Broly fan, but his first appearance was intimidating and mysterious. A legendary Super Saiyan that survived the destruction of planet Vegeta, but I guess he's not canon? But then he is? I'm so confused. Broly himself is a cool character. He's huge and extremely muscular. One of the most muscular DBC characters in the entire series. The film starts off with a Saiyan approaching Vegeta during a picnic to help him find a legendary Super Saiyan that is wrecking chaos in the galaxy. The fight scenes pretty much run the entire film, as there is little story. There is like a 30-minute fight scene with Broly, and in my opinion it really drags. At the time of this film, it was really good, but it didn't age well. It's a really long fight, but at least it was a good fight. That's why it makes my list at number 8. It's still a film worth watching if you're a DBC fan. Number 7, Dead Zone. Garlic Jr. has returned for revenge, and is after the Dragon Balls. Sure, no major fight scenes, and it probably didn't age well, but for what the film delivers, it's pretty good, as Garlic Jr. tries to gather all the Dragon Balls to summon the dragon Shenron, so he can be granted immortality. The story is nothing special, but Garlic Jr. was at the time a pretty intimidating character with his imp-like features. It's also the first Dragon Ball Z movie, and it was well received. Gohan again is targeted for his hat that has a Dragon Ball on the top and is captured, while Goku, you guessed it, is fishing. I remember watching this as a kid, and it felt really dark, but rewatching it wasn't that bad. It's a pretty good film, and Garlic Jr. is, at the time, was pretty menacing. The animation is slightly better than the anime, but only slightly. Number 6, Tree of Might. The film is different than most on this list, as it contains a cinematic budget. Most of the other films on this list seem to only have a made-for-TV budget. The animation was really good, better than most DBC movies. The story was the best part, being more story-driven than having an overpowered villain, although Turles was a little tough, just a little bit. This Saiyan looks too much like Goku, and somehow survived the destruction of Planet Vegeta. It goes from a camping trip into an invasion by Turtles. The cast was great, but Gohan as usual had the best moments. The music was slightly different, as I hear Funimation changed the soundtrack. Watched it as a kid and enjoyed it. Number 5. Super Android 13. Super Android 13 was the only Dragon Ball Z movie I never heard of until I was a little older. It caught me off guard as I scrolled the internet and ran into it. So I watched it. It's pretty straightforward, taking place during the Android Saga, with a computer programmed to make androids to kill Goku. The first 2 androids give off an appearance of clowns, and was a little hard to take them seriously until 13 appears. A big fight in the cities and moving to the Arctic. The dialogue in the dub was funny and kept the movie a little more entertaining. Like most DBC movies, a lot of fighting and explosions. Trunks kept me watching the whole way through. The final battle was meh, as 13 becoming the super android. It all ends with a spoiler, a spirit bomb. It's an okay film. For some reason I really enjoyed it. Number 4. Cooler returns. The first Cooler film was alright, but here we get Mecha Cooler. There's just something about mechanical villains that makes them seem more menacing. The huge mechanical planet begins devouring Namek. As Goku and gang investigate, they are attacked by some robots. During the fight, a new and improved Cooler reveals himself to be alive and well, having been reborn as some shiny new mech version. Originally released in 1992, the animation is really good. As I first watched this film in 2005 and thought it was just produced. Only years later did I learn it was released in 1992, and I was impressed. It was really fast and should have been a little longer in my opinion, although how Cooler survived was a little too ridiculous. Some may hate this movie, but I loved it, and not just because I'm a mech anime fan. Number 3. Wrath of the Dragon. Not only does this film have a cool name, it's one of the best DBC films. Wrath of the Dragon kept the viewers engaged, as this film presents a mysterious alien wizard who seeks to open a magical box. From the beginning, bad intentions are obvious, yet we only see the warrior Tapion emerge from the box, or so it may appear at first. The whole story feels pretty short, but almost every minute is worth watching, as Tapion is this lonerish, angry guy, and Trunks seeks to befriend him. It's on this top 10 for the reason we see Tapion and Trunks form a brotherly bond, as well as the origins of Trunks' sword. Although some may not consider this canon, as it creates problems story-wise, the final battle is pretty epic, as we see Super Saiyan 3 versus a monster, and the finishing blow is not a spirit bomb for once. Tapion was one cool guy, and his soft spot for Trunks was a great and beautiful friendship. Number 2. BoJack Unbound. What's not to like? In the first 5 minutes, we see a group of fighters unboarding a plane. On an island, a big tournament with our boy Krillin holding his own against some fighters. The rest of the sea fighters are on the island, taking a shot at this tournament. The whole film is set, you guessed it, a tournament. The setting is already a 10 for me. First time watching this film was in 2010, and I loved every minute. As in every minute, there's always something happening, either in the tournament or in the other world. There's this one of a few films where Goku does not participate, which honestly is pretty cool, as he takes a back seat as a spectator in the other world. Although BoJack is not a mighty villain as in previous films, he is enough to overwhelm the Sea Fighters. Even if Goku didn't fight, this is still worth watching, as the Sea Fighters shine in their own film, with Gohan looking at his best. Number 1. Fusion Reborn. Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn is the perfect movie for a DBC fan. It has everything a fan dreams. A brawl for all, as in seeing characters fight the undead, funny moments with Janemba and one amazing fight with Janemba. I thought Janemba was a better villain than most DBC villains we see Pycon, so I guess this film takes place during the Boo Saga. Even as a kid, when I wasn't a DBC fan, I really enjoyed this movie. It's so good. The way the film is structured, to the pacing, and that high budget, damn. It has a lot of funny moments, with some of the dead being characters like Hitler and Dracula. As the portal between the living and the dead is open, we see characters like Frieza and Bojack and other villains escape. This is my personal favorite Dragon Ball Z movie, as it has everything a movie should have. Comedy, action, drama, everything, music. It's perfect. So what did you guys think about my list? Do you guys agree? I haven't watched the new Broly movie. That's the only movie I haven't watched. So let me know what you guys thought of this list. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, share, and comment. It's JM. I'll see you guys.